Welcome, everyone, to the Feminine Outliers podcast, your dose of fun, life advice, and experiences from two African professional women living and working in the Western world. We are your hosts, Choolwe Mandona,
and Zelda Wasau.
And we are excited to have you here with us again. So, episode 12. I I don't want to say excited again, but we're doing something a little bit different for today's episode. Not different, but more fun and maybe lighthearted. Um, we are in 2024. We've talked about planning for the year, and we've reflected on what 2023 was all about. And now we're going to talk about things we would like to try in 2024. But before we get started, we're going to start with our unlearning pieces. And so, Zell, I'm going to pass it on to you. What are you unlearning this week?
So this week, I'm unlearning giving into imposter syndrome.
Mm,
Imposter syndrome, I think the one place it's affected me the most is work because I'm young, I'm a new attending physician, I'm a female, um, and I am a minority female at that. So, I mean, it's very commonplace for someone to confuse me as a nurse. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing a white coat or even if I introduce myself as a doctor. They'll
mm,
still be like, sometimes they'll still be like, oh yeah, the nurse is here. I have to be like, no, I'm your physician. I'm used to that though. Does it bother me?
mm,
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Um, I think it bothers me more so when it comes from males than anything.
mm.
But sometimes with all that, you can feel that you're sometimes it can make you sometimes feel like you're not as qualified. Uh,
Yeah.
and this is something I realized that a lot of female physicians actually face, at least initially
Mm,
starting out, because female physicians will tell you we're so used to being called nurses. It's the bias in this in the world. A lot of females are used to being like people think they're nurses.
mm,
And people might think you're less qualified just because you're a female. Because when people think about, at least here in the West, when people think about a physician, they think about a white, middle aged, or elderly man. Um,
mm,
and so sometimes with all that's happening, and then as you go to your day to day life and you meet certain challenges in regards to maybe you're not sure how to treat your patient or you're not sure what's the next step of management or anything like that, all of these small things can make you second guess yourself and make you feel like what, like you kind of are like, do I even deserve to be here or should I be here? But
yeah.
it's one thing I realized because I do follow a lot of physician groups on social media, and I feel like people who I feel like that's one of the good things about social media, is finding groups like these. And I realized that my experience is absolutely not new. It's very common.
Mm,
Like just
yeah.
doubting myself, doubting my qualification for the job, because people judge you based off a lot of different things. And a lot of times their
Hmm.
judgment is based off their own biases and all that. It doesn't reflect you, but
Yeah.
within all that, and then also when you yourself get into a situation where you feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. So you're also questioning your own knowledge. Uh,
Mm,
that becomes it's a perfect, it's just perfect recipe for embracing imposter syndrome because you feel like, maybe I shouldn't be here, and I have to remind myself, no, you
hmm.
did go to medical school for 4 years, you went through residency for 4 years, you deserve to be here, you deserve to be where you are, you actually worth it and you made it. and realizing that
Mm-hmm.
there's so many other physicians who go through this. There's so many other young female physicians who go through the exact same thing. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we tend to have imposter syndrome worse than males do. Um,
Mm.
so it's just unlearning that and realizing that it's it's normal to have imposter syndrome, but it doesn't. I should not give into it. Fine, accept it
Yeah.
exists, but then remember, no, you were worth it and you made it there. Imposter syndrome affects me more so at work. Um, Another place where it might affect me is maybe as I get into luxury travel and things like that, and you don't tend to see people who maybe look like me or things like that. And you start to do
Mm.
things like that and feeling like, do I actually deserve to be here? Just reminding myself, you definitely deserve to be here. Uh,
Mm.
like that's a huge thing of like just reminding yourself, nope, you worked hard, you
Yeah.
got yourself here, or even if you didn't work hard, even if you got it by luck, you still deserve it. So,
Yeah.
um,
Right.
yeah, so
Yeah.
imposter syndrome is something that I am unlearning. I have to just consciously tell myself, don't do it. And a big part of me unlearning it is realizing that so many other people go through it. And
Yes.
so it helps you realize you're not alone. It's very common. And yeah, at least for female physicians, just being part of a female physician group, it's very helpful to see what people have to say and all that.
Yeah. Whew. I can 100% relate to what you are saying. I also did go through an imposter syndrome phase, and sometimes imposter syndrome is, I don't know if you recognized it early, but I did not recognize it as early as I could, and I think I started reading a lot of books and
Hmm.
realizing that, oh yeah, this is imposter syndrome. Um, and just kind of like, I think my day to day, like let's say at work, in the past, that is, I had these feelings or emotions like, yeah, like as you said, you question your knowledge and you
Hmm.
feel like, wait, is this correct? And then this idea of like, okay, maybe I need to ask somebody else, but then it's like, no, you you've studied, you understand this, just believe in yourself. So I went through that for quite some time before I started to realize like it is imposter syndrome and what can I do about it. And as you said, one thing that's interesting is that it's not about us, it's about the other people and their interpretation of who we are.
Hmm.
And so it's a very interesting environment because the impact is us, right? So then we're the ones going home and having to deal with it. um, and that's why representation does matter. And I do not think I took representation as seriously when I was in college until I started working, and how important it is to see a person like me in the position that I am in or the position I aspire to be in.
Hmm.
And I now take on, in a way, that responsibility as well. Like I'm realizing, like, oh my goodness, somebody else is coming after, someone else is behind me, and they might experience, most likely will experience what I went through. And so I rather educate, inform, inspire in some way. So I do feel a sense of responsibility now. So I get it.
Side note, that just reminded me of I was walking into the hospitalist office, and there's this young black female who stopped me, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, hey, are you one of the hospitalists?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm studying for my MCAT exam. MCAT is medical entrance exam for medical school." And she was like,
Mm,
"It's just so nice and inspiring to see you here." And I'm sorry, that was so random because
yeah.
actually I was leaving the hospital's office, and I was like, "This is so random." But the fact that she said that, meaning she must have noticed me walking in and out, and I was like, "Wow."
Mm,
And I was like, oh, wow, someone noticed. Wow.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that no, that's really cool. Yeah, no, that's a good thing, and that's important. And the other thing that I have, ways that I have also managed this is finding people who genuinely want to see you grow and support you.
Hmm.
So, and they do exist, and including, shout out to all the allies, supporting, professional minority professionals in the workplace. So because those people make you realize that no, you are just good the way you are, you don't need to change anything, and they kind of guide you. And I'm so thankful to all my mentors, in in the workplace, even up to today, because they gave me the North Star. Because like it's very easy to get lost, if you listen to those imposter syndrome voices and
Hmm.
feel like, as you said, you don't belong. But then if you have people that can say, no, you are doing good, just keep going, or they genuinely want to see you grow, I think that's another, way to deal with that. Um, but yeah, okay, that's a good one, Zell. And I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit more about this. I know I will talk a little bit more about this in the career series. As we had mentioned in our previous episode, that we are going to be starting a career series, that will be focusing on our individual careers, me as an engineer and Zell as a doctor. So stay tuned, and hopefully there will be these episodes will be very helpful for you guys, interested in the field of medicine and engineering. So that'll be exciting. Alrighty. So for myself, what am I unlearning this week? I am unlearning pretending to be someone I'm not. Whew.
Interesting.
No, like, and I think I should be a little bit more specific because it seems generic. But I, this year in 2024, and I put this on my WhatsApp status, that this year for me is a time to individuate and authenticate. And what I mean by that is, how, um, I've done this in the past, and I don't know if you've done this, Cell, where you pretend that you like something. Like let's say you don't like apples, but because you may be trying to befriend someone, or you were told that, oh, this person loves apples, so you should like apples too. So it just kind of being honest with myself first, and then being honest with others. And I'm realizing there's no need for me to pretend. If something is mine, it's mine. If something is not mine, it's not mine. But trying to manipulate myself so that I could somehow be in a better position or better state, I'm just like, that seems like a waste of time. Um, like I just, and so that's just something I'm unlearning to do. Like, if, like, I remember, I guess maybe it was also just being younger, where you do things that your friends do because they're your friends.
Hmm.
So, like, if a friend would tell me, like, hey, do you want to go watch this movie? And let's say I hate horror movies, and I go, and I, just because they're my friend. But now I'm like, no, I don't like, I tell people what I like, I tell people what I don't like, I tell people what makes me happy, I tell people the things that don't make me happy. Um, and just being honest, and just saying, hey, this is where I stand. And naturally what happens is, if I don't like something, then it means we're not going to connect on that. And
Hmm.
I now seek, let's say, friendships where our values align. So if they don't align, it's okay. We can we can just agree to disagree, and we move on. and just, yeah, I feel like life will go on.
I mean, that's a good one. And it's a hard one to do because I feel like it's funny. I do it, but I do it we in a really funny way. So, like when
Oh.
someone asks you, "Oh, have you ever watched this? Or do you know all this? Did you know that?" I, instead of just being like, "No, oh, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of this," I'm just like, "Oh yeah, yeah." You know, you just want to avoid like any awkward, I don't know, situation. And I realize,
Mm.
just say you don't know, you've never heard of it,
Yeah.
irrespective of whether of how they respond. It's better they know you don't know it, and then the different like expecta- expectations will be set, or they'll like explain to you what this is. Because sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, have you ever played this game? Have you done this?" And I, my automatic instinct is just to say yes, even though
Mm.
I haven't. And I'm like, why do I do that? And I think it's the same thing. It's like, I don't know. You just want, you just want to say, it's as if I'm pretending to, it kind of in a sense, it's like maybe you're pretending to be someone you're not. And I really like, just be
Mm.
truthful and just be like, no, I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And yeah, just even if someone, if you, if someone be more excited about you knowing something,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but just be real. I think that's,
Exactly.
I don't have an issue in certain aspects of my life with that, but it's that one particularly I notice I do that. And I'm like, why do I do
Mm.
that? And it just automatically comes
Uh,
out. So I realize, no, just say no. Because there are people who do that, and I admire the crap out of them. When they'll be like,
yeah.
nope, I don't know
No,
what that is.
exactly.
And it's like, they're not going to pretend to know something or be someone or act like someone they don't know. They don't know it. And I'm like,
Exactly. Exactly. But I do realize that there is an awkwardness, especially if the person maybe was anticipating that familiarity, like, oh, you if you say yes, that means you understand me better.
mm,
Um, but then in those cases, I've realized if the person is really passionate about what they're talking about and you don't know, they would be willing to teach you. Like sometimes I
mm-hmm,
get excited when someone doesn't know something that I know, because then it's like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to share with you how passionate I am about it. But I can relate because I have done that. And I think the thing is that I'm trying to make sure that I connect with the person or don't leave the person hanging and not
mm-hmm,
have that
mm,
awkwardness of
mm-hmm.
like, nope, like that's it.
That's exactly, you hit the nail on the head with that. That's exactly what the where the problem lies.
Yeah, but then maybe the thing I would say is if you say no, I don't know, tell me more. I would love to learn or something like that.
Mm,
Um so maybe just help the person say like I want to relate to you. I just don't know. I sincerely do not know. So I just yeah, I think being authentic is a key thing for me moving forward because there's not so much time to waste. You know, this life is not a rehearsal. So
mm-hmm,
um the more you just express who you are, the right I feel like the right people will come into your life to validate your values and you keep moving forward. I don't know. That's just my thought there.
that's true.
So, yeah. All right. Okay. Those are nice learning pieces. I like it. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. All right. So, on to the next segment of the podcast. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're just going to discuss some things that we would like to try in 2024. And I emphasize on the word try because it's, we thought, why not think about things that we want to manifest? They may not happen, they may happen depending on how life is. But
Mm-hmm.
if we were given a magic wand and, I don't know, things weren't an issue, and we could just say the things that we would like to try this year. what would it be? And yeah, just even for yourself, listeners, you can think about it. Like, if there was no issues, money, time wasn't an issue, um, and you had things in your mind that, they just keep circling in your mind that, wow, you wish you had a chance to do this. What would that be? So let us know. But to begin with, I'm going to ask Zell, what comes to your mind when I say, what is the one thing you'd like to try? Or let's start off with one thing you'd like to try in 2024.
Hmm. Furnish my apartment.
Adulting 101, people.
I mean, I have not been moved to finish furnishing this place. I've been doing it slowly because I have what I need. I mean, certain few things I want to get, like I want to get like myself the type of bed I want or things like that. But just generally trying to furnish it, I think I need to give myself a budget and stick to it. That's part of the
Mm,
reason why I haven't furnished it, because I've been trying to. There's so many things I'm doing with my money that I'm just like I haven't really furnished it. But I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm so used to living in, I don't know, basically furnished place.
mm,
So now I'm telling myself, make your home homey. Um, I mean, I don't know if I'll still be here at the end of the year. Who knows?
yeah.
But I still should try and furnish it. I'm gonna try.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give myself a budget and try and just make it look like a home. But my parents all the time are like, yeah, I mean, you need to have a home that looks like a like a doctor's home, which personally I don't care. For me, I'm just like, as long as the home has what I want and is
Yeah.
what I need, I am fine with that. But yes, I'm gonna try furnish it.
Mm,
It's been a long time coming, but like it makes me happy because I know like some of my friends, my colleagues, at least my friends who are in residency with, have still not furnished their places.
oh,
So
yeah.
in my head, I'm just like, yeah, because I feel like other people from outside look at us and they're like, why isn't your house furnished? I'm like, well, I have everything I
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
like, like me getting a TV was very much a splurge for Black Friday, but I knew I was gonna get it on Black Friday. There's nothing else. But
Mm, yeah. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying though, because when you said furnish, it would be like, okay, just put in some furniture in there and consider it done. But it's a different kind of shopping when you are trying to make your home homey.
mm-hmm,
So I can understand how you're going from the student life to the professional life. And so, you don't just go out there and choose a random plate. You choose the one that is like, I don't know, thick, I don't know, right color, matches with the kitchen counter or whatever tickles your fancy. So I'm just thinking there is a difference. And I guess you probably have to think about your personality and what makes you happy. And so,
mm-hmm,
would you be happy using this kind of fork, this kind of plate, the curtains, all of that stuff? So that makes sense. That's like self care in a way, like some version of self care, I would say, which is exciting. So
mm-hmm.
let us in on your journey. Maybe we'll do something around that. We find best deals to furnish your home with something. So, um, okay. So for me, when I think about 2024, one thing I really want to do is do a hike or a long walk in the Peak District here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just haven't had the opportunity to explore, mountains, hills, terrain in a very long time. I really loved living in Colorado because of the mountains. So shout out to Colorado, miss the mountains, and so it's just like I I think I it's safe to say for me that I haven't yet seen a place so far. That's probably because on me, but I haven't seen a place that is like Colorado in terms of the mountains,
Mm,
um, and just the the vastness, of of the world. Like, when you see a mountain range, you're just in awe of like the world. And I feel like there are probably other places that I'm yet to see, but ever since then, I've fallen in love with mountain terrain, and I want to go to the Peak District and do some hiking, do some walking, and just really be outdoorsy
mhm.
this year because I like being outdoorsy. It's just fresh air. You're out there. It's just you and the world, the earth, the sun, and just enjoying the scenery. So that's something I would like to do.
Nice. I'll probably join you on that one.
Please do. Please do. I would love the company. And I think that's the thing about it is like when you take hikes, you get a chance to just distress, and
Hmm.
you're just left with your thoughts. And yeah, so let's make it happen.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And in addition to that, like, so I guess we can go to traveling. What do I want to do in 2024? I was going to say 2014.
Uh-uh. The
So,
past.
uh, I really want to travel a lot. And I think I
Mm.
want to at least try and go to four different countries that I haven't been to. So I
Ooh.
think I've been
Okay.
to 16 countries so far.
Okay.
Um, so now I want to try going to four. So one of them is Japan. We're talking about going to Scotland. So I really want to go there. And then I need to go to someplace in Europe. So we thought about Italy.
Yep.
Um, and then I probably would try to go somewhere in Central or South America. I mean, I've been to South, so maybe Central, like Belize, Costa Rica. I don't know, somewhere. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
try at least go to four now. Now I'm going to work my way up. Like my ultimate goal is to go to 12 new countries at least a
Oh, we're gonna.
year.
Oh,
But
yeah,
right now I have to put the brakes on that because I need to build my
yeah,
emergency fund. So
yeah,
I can't just go crazy and do all that. But yeah, I
yeah.
really
No,
want to like travel a lot. So and in Scotland, as I told you earlier, I want to go to the Isle of Skye. You like hiking? The Peak District in the UK in England is beautiful. The Isle of Skye is also gorgeous as well.
yes,
So
that is so true.
I like to do
But
that. I think
okay,
that'll
so
be
maybe,
fun.
we can then, yeah, let's talk about this, and maybe we can put the two together, or could be two separate trips, but it could be the same. So
Hmm.
okay. Oh, and we talked about Jamaica. Did we talk about Jamaica, or we talked about the Caribbean islands?
Barbados. You would
Uh,
forgot.
oh, sorry.
I mean, you wanted to go to Barbados. I was telling you, it's easy from the UK for you guys to like go to the Caribbean because they tend to have direct flights.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay. I spoke to a lady yesterday who went to Jamaica and just seemed like she had the time of her life. So maybe that's due on my mind. But
mm,
that's another. But anyway, we can talk about which ones. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. And speaking of travel, I would like to visit uh, San Diego in California.
mm,
I just don't think I have given enough credit to California, like experiencing California from a tourist perspective,
hmm
even when I was in the US. And it's just tagging on me for whatever reason that I should experience the San Diego beaches,
Mm,
and just enjoy. Like, I don't know, like every time I see pictures of San Diego, I just think it's so beautiful, and I just want to experience it. Um, and I mean, maybe also the other thing is that since I started learning how to swim and just being in the water,
mm-hmm,
I feel eager to try water related like activities or be in water related places. So like this
mm,
idea of going to the Caribbean islands, I'm like, check, yes, San Diego, yes. Um, and so I'm just kind of like, oh, this is something I would want to try. Like snorkeling. We're just talking about snorkeling, like something like that, like just be in the water, see the fishes, just you know, hang out, because yeah, there's something. It's just a whole new world that has opened up, and I would just want to keep exploring it.
mm-hmm.
Anything to do with water, and you have obviously you're the water queen, so you to you it's just like, oh yeah, I knew that already. So like, welcome to my club. So um but no, your club is pretty cool, and I really want to be a part of it, so I'm hoping I could do that this year.
Oh my goodness, water stuff. You know, for sure, like I want to do as much water activities as I can because it
Mm,
makes me so happy being in the water. It's like I'm just like smiley face. um so but that's brings me to maybe another one. I can transition this to another one that I wanted what I want to do in 2024. So I want to get a personal trainer, maybe get a personal trainer or
mm,
or maybe do swimming as my exercise. So
mm,
personal trainer, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying out a personal trainer. I think it'll be really good for me in the gym. I can learn a lot about because I'm not a gym aficionado, so I need a lot of guidance in the gym and things like that. I just have to get my schedule. I need to get my sleep schedule and everything under control.
child.
um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can do
Mm-hmm.
like a personal trainer in the gym. But I also like maybe have like a swim, not a swim coach, but someone who's like okay timing me as I do my laps or something like. I mean, or maybe I don't need that, but as long as I can also like maybe use swimming as a exercise. For me, the most relaxing form of exercise is swimming. I love it. When
Mm,
I'm in the water, I'm just in a whole other dimension. It's so relaxing, but it's such a good form of exercise. That's why I always say in my future home, I need to have a lap pool because
mm,
like I need my own pool to do my laps. So I think I want to try that this year. I mean, it shouldn't hurt to try it. I just have to actually have a schedule where I can do it because
mm-hmm.
I'm realizing that maybe um, after work might not be a good option simply
Mm.
because I mean you guys know how my my work schedule
Work schedule. Yeah.
it's a bit chaotic. But so if I can wake up early and actually go to the gym early, why
Mm-hmm.
not? So that's something I actually want to consider doing. I think it'll be fun for my health and just fun to try.
Mm. So, question actually, even right now with your current schedule, if there was a pool like 5 minutes from your home,
Hmm.
would it entice you after you're done with work to go to the pool and just swim?
That's a good question. I mean, that's where my problem comes in. Like after work, doing anything is really tough, uh,
Mm, yeah.
to be honest. And but I just realized I just need to have a better schedule. There is a pool probably 10 to 12 minutes away from here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we have a pool in this complex, but of course it's like an apartment pool that's only open in the summer. Uh,
Mm.
So that's why I'm like, I want to try it and see how I like it. Because the other thing about it though is, um, here's a tricky part. So personal trainer, I can do it in the morning, early morning.
Mm-hmm.
The pool, my only issue is when I go to the pool afterwards, it just knocks you out. Like literally, I don't know if you've
It
ever done this,
does.
but you have the sleep you have after you've swum. It's so sweet.
Mm.
It's so
Yeah.
sweet. Like, you're just like you. It's like your body. It's just it rests so well. So now in my head, I'm thinking, if I do it in the morning and then I have to work all day, how is that gonna work? Then also
Mm.
my hair has to dry,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of logistics I have to
Yeah.
think about. I might end up just doing it my week off work.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll
Yeah.
see. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm definitely more into like I need to get maybe just try having a personal trainer once. It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. So and that's the no, swimming does tire you out. I even when my first few lessons, I was surprised that my first few lessons were like 30 only 20 to 30 minutes. And I
Hmm.
was like, why are they only 20 to 30 minutes? It's just water. The joke. I that the joke was on me because even just after I think after 15 minutes because my instructor would say, like you have to, you know, what do you call this? Flap your legs, like because I because there's
Flop
a
your legs.
y- y- yeah, like you have no because
Um,
yeah,
you're not flapping.
I guess move your legs, right? I, here's the thing during my training um at one point when I was like trying to move my legs like because there's so much going on in swimming but I was trying to
Mhm.
move my legs in the water and then when I would get exhausted I just stop and then I start sinking
I knew.
and then my instructor would be like keep moving your legs. I was like with what energy, where, what are you talking about? Like I'm done, I'm tired, this has been 15 minutes, I'm out, it's time to go home. Like so um but no, it's really fun. I can understand. And with the personal trainer I would say I would recommend it. I've had a personal trainer in the past and I would say go for it if you are thinking of exercising for for life or like you're a growth oriented exerciser.
Mhm.
um, I wouldn't limit it to some people might say I want a personal trainer just to lose weight or to do this because a personal trainer can teach you about how to use the machines in the gym, can teach you about what to even sometimes your diet, what to eat to match up with your exercise. So
Mhm.
there's so much. It's almost like think of your personal trainer as like a like you're going into this fitness academy and you're going to come out with these new skills that you can use for life because exercising is just exercising.
Mhm.
So I think if you have that mindset, I would highly recommend it. But as you said, just like with any, like school or anything that you're doing, you need to create the time for it.
Mm.
It's not just going to randomly show up. So you need to set yourself up to actually utilize the personal trainer in a way that will change your physique, of course, but also just your lifestyle because you want
Mhm.
a permanent lifestyle change. So that's where I would stand with that. But it's worth a try, and maybe you can do a trial period if the gym that you go to or you plan to go to has that. Maybe you can test out
Mhm.
and figure out what works for you.
That's true.
So
What
okay.
about you?
um Oh, okay. So speaking about uh, n- when it comes to speed and movement, I want to drive a really fancy sports car. Like at least drive it like something like a Ferrari, like one of the top five, like 5 or 10 fast cars. Like I just want to experience it. And maybe eventually buy one, right? Let me not
Mhm.
limit my manifestation,
Mhm.
but I've always wanted I've always wanted to try out one of these sports cars. I think they're really cool, they're really sexy, and I'm just like I really want to drive one. I just want to feel it. And to be fair, I have seen some just even around like where I am in Cambridge, but I do see
Mhm.
them and I'm just like, oh, what would it be like if I was the one driving it? So that's one part of me where it's like that idea of speed with a car. I
Mhm.
just think it's so cool. So yeah.
Hashtag Dubai. Let's go to Dubai, and then you can rent all your luxury cars, and then
Ooh.
go from there.
I know we did plan to go to Dubai, didn't we? Okay.
We plan to go a lot
Okay.
of places. Have we
We should
done it?
put the list. No, I mean we are in progress. Okay, we are in progress. It takes time, but I'm in. I'm in. If we're gonna go to Dubai and experience that, let's go to Dubai. Shout out to Dubai. Um. So, okay, yeah. I just think it would be so fun. I would wear a really cool outfit. Um. Hopefully the car would be red. Have some red lipstick.
Really?
Just look the dangerous red lipstick, boss lady, boss vibes.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just picture myself in that way. Some really nice high heels and really nice outfit. Get in that car, drive it off. I don't know. So, but that's yeah, that's what I'm trying to manifest. Shout out if anybody has that car, and we can set things up.
That's
Oh
nice.
man. Anything else on your end?
Yeah, so I want to get back to playing the piano. Uh, I
Ooh.
want to buy myself a piano and then start taking piano lessons. Uh, I really miss playing the piano. I don't. I'll probably have to start from the basics again because it's been 15, maybe 15 years or less than that since I was last playing the piano. So in my head, I'm like, I might
Hmm.
as well, the space back here in my in my sunroom is for a piano. So I want to get back to doing that and taking lessons. But again, this is all going to mean I have to be disciplined with my
Mm.
time because I'll have to come back and do a little practicing. I am sure I wouldn't mind doing that because that's relaxing. I just have to have, a good uh, schedule and stuff. But I really want to get back to doing the piano. I figure I tell myself at this point in my life when I'm young, I don't have anyone I'm responsible for. I might as well do all the stuff that I want to do when I can
Mm.
do it. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. That's a really I didn't know that. I didn't know that you were into the piano. This is new to me.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. How come we did not discuss
I
this?
used to play the piano as a child, probably
Oh, look at
to my
you.
teens. I don't know when at some point I stopped. I'm pretty sure it's funny because I feel like I stopped because, well, one, I was not that self motivated, but two, I remember sometimes I'd have to use public transport to get to the place, and I hated using public transport. I'd be like, I just wish my mom could drop me.
Ah.
So this is hashtag Zelda being very not lazy. I just really like convenience
Yeah. Oh no, that
and
is
not hustling. But
no, that makes sense. You know what I'm picturing? Like your future home.
hmm,
It's going to have um overlooking like I don't know, maybe like California or something. I'm thinking of California in my mind. But it's going to be one of those homes that's going to have like the infinity pool,
hmm,
and then there's going to be like a white piano, like just I don't know, just right by the patio or something. But just there'll be a piano and there'll be a pool, and yeah, like I don't know, because I didn't know that you like playing the piano.
Yeah. I've just been, that's why I've been like, when it comes to furnishing, that's why there's so many things I want to get. But I'm realizing,
Mm,
I don't need to spend money in getting a lot. I just get the basics and that's it. But
no, I get that. I really do get that. Which it actually reminds me, speaking of things that you like or you're passionate about, I have become passionate about baking, like just baking cakes. And baking and looking into like gluten free and dairy free baking, just because, especially with a lot of intolerances growing out there, I thought
hmm
it would be pretty cool to learn how to bake without using wheat flour and without using cow's milk. So I started getting into it earlier last year. And then I'm at a pause right now, I guess, focusing on other things. But at one point, I was actually thinking, which I would love to try. I don't know if it will happen in 2024, but compete in the British Bake Off. No, seriously. Like I feel like actually because from the British Bake Off, I have come to learn about the different desserts here, or treats, sweet treats in the UK,
mm
or Europe in general. Shout
hmm
out to the sweet treats in Europe. Okay?
they're good, right?
They are good. Oh my goodness. They are so delicious. And I just recently had a chance to try out, Belgian waffles when I went to Brussels this past 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So it's just like, man, these people really take their time to make great stuff.
hmm
Um, and so I'm just like, that would be a really cool thing to even just be on one episode of the British Bake Off, just because, why not? Um, and just take my baking a little bit more seriously. Not look at it like, yeah, I could just bake once in a while, but I just feel like I've learned so much about baking in the past year that I feel like if I really put more energy and focus into it, it could really be something.
hmm
So yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. So British Bake
That
Off.
that's a that's a fun one. I'll be
I know.
supporting you. I'll be there rooting for you when the judges come around to judge. I'll be like,
Oh yes. No, that would be, yeah, that would be exciting. And I do know that there are some people. I don't remember what it takes to get into the British Bake Off, but I can, maybe that's the first step. I can look into um, how to, like, what the application process is like, and then just throw my name in there and see what happens. Who knows
mm.
if I'm eligible? So
You know what we should do? The Amazing Race.
yes,
Have you? I actually want to do it.
that would be so cool. That would be so cool, because maybe we should, like, we should look into it
hmm
and check it out. Ah, man, that would be so amazing. I don't know. I don't know if you get this feeling. Maybe we have talked about this, but the feeling of being in a strange land and not knowing everyone, like the thrill
hmm
of just being in a foreign place and not knowing anybody and trying to figure things out. Amazing. At least I really get a rush from that. So Amazing Race would be perfect, because then we're trying to figure out the clues and everything, and then navigate, then drive to those places, and then Yeah, one of my favorite shows actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
one of my very favorite shows. Um, Speaking of which, this is not Amazing Race. It's a different kind of travel. I'm not sure if you're into it, but I would like to do a meditation retreat. It's always like, yeah, right. No, okay. I just think it would be really interesting to go on a retreat,
Mm-hmm.
be calm and quiet, and just, I don't know, like listen to my own voice, my own voices. I don't know, and just, or maybe calm them. Um, I've heard about these retreats. I haven't really looked into them, but I would love to do something like that. It may even just be a weekend retreat. I don't know, but I can look into it where it's like you just sign up and be in a place where you're just quiet with your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and probably there's like a time to like interact with the other participants, or maybe there isn't. But I'm just very curious what the outcome would be from it. And
Mm.
then I don't know. So uh, I'm curious, or maybe there's like some yoga involved as well, or something like that. But um, it's something I'm curious to try out.
They have, because I know they have them of obviously all over India. They have them in Sedona too. It's a lot of different places. They have them.
Ah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I remember talking to one of my colleagues about it, and she really wanted to do it. So
Okay. Is she? I used to friend. I used to colleagues. Or is this
she
in the past?
is she is that was in residency, but like she still wants
Ah.
to do it, and yeah, I was like that would be great because remember we talk about random things with her, and she's the one who talked about that. I think she was looking at one in Arizona, in Sedona.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to try something like that. So maybe I'll look into it now that it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Something I can hold myself accountable to check and see. So, but yeah, anything else on your end?
I'll end with a more serious one. But one thing I
Oh.
want to do a little bit more this year is investing more, like financially. Do a little bit more investing. Um, Now that I feel like I have no excuse but to go head first and really try and
Yeah.
spread my wings and try different kinds of investing. So I'm like, might as well try it. At least that's I really started slowly before, but like now I really want to go deeper and more head first into it.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one too. In that, especially if it's something that you haven't done before, or you have only known about it, or only known a part of it, but as you have mentioned, you have been doing your reading, and so now you're ready to take the plunge, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now is a good time because obviously I think you've probably learned that when it comes to investments, more time in the market is better than not being in the market if you're going to invest in stocks, that is, for example, um, or such kind of securities. So that's exciting. That's
Mm-hmm.
very, very exciting. Um, well, it's the top of the hour, almost the top of the hour. Um, this has been fun. I I like this because sometimes we just go by in life just trying to make ends meet, right? Or we just in our heads, as you said, for example, like you want to furnish your apartment, but it's like, how do you want to furnish your apartment? And we just think, oh yeah, I just need to do these things, but we can add more fun and play to our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And this has sort of made me think about that. And because this is the time is now, and I know we can always say, oh, I'll do this next year, I'll do this in 5 years from now or whatever. But, we just don't know in this life, like this life is not a rehearsal. This is it, guys, So um, start manifesting what you want right
Mm-hmm.
now, even though it won't necessarily, even though it may not happen in 2024, but who knows? But put your true selves out there, and let's see what comes back to us by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. So we would love to know what you guys would like to try out in 2024. Please share with us your feedback, or your responses, at the feminine outliers at gmail.com, and like and subscribe to this podcast on the major podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and even other smaller podcast platforms. You can find us on there. So, guys, this has been great. So, until next time, have fun, live large, and don't be afraid to be an outlier.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.